we have a lot of ground to cover. So we are definitely just going to get started. Thank you for joining us for the AI Agent Lab class today. This is actually something people have approached us about, and in true fashion, ask and you shall receive if we can deliver. So we are excited. And there is some really cool stuff that we're going to show you. We are both all about practical application, right? Being able to get tools that you can use right now, not things that you need another degree to learn how to use and implement. And so that is what we are looking for you guys to take away from today's class. If you have questions, just raise your hands, drop them in the chat, and we'll keep an eye as we roll through.
Absolutely. And I want to say the same. Thank you all for joining us. We are not tech gurus by any means. So we are literally flying the plane as we build it. And some of the stuff that we're going to show you today is new stuff to us as well. So if you do have more questions, we can always help dive into that. But without further ado, we're going to get started.
We're going to be going back and forth between the presentation and actually pulling up some different AI as well. Plus, there is a prompt playbook and a prompt builder that you're going to be getting with today's class. So we're going to show you all of that.
And if y'all didn't already know, I'm Carissa Mason. I'm in Georgia. I'm one of the brokers for a large cloud-based brokerage here in Georgia. I also am the owner of CRM Consulting and co-owner of the Real Estate Operations Institute with my what do we call ourselves? B
BPBF, business partner, best friend.
Josie. And so Josie.
And I am Josie from CT, Josie in Connecticut. That's usually how I introduce myself because I am on a lot of Zooms, right? And I want people to remember where I am. So I'm the Director of Operations and Marketing for the Valerie King team. Valerie King is my sister. We're based here. I've worked with her. It'll be 9 years in January. Crazy. And then I also have my own coaching and consulting business, which is called A Leverage Life, the logo that you see on the screen there. And then Carissa and I started the Real Estate Ops Institute. I don't know, 2, 3 years ago at this point, something like that. And we just love to coach, teach, and bring these kinds of tools to our real estate peeps. And so we are excited, like I said, to just dive right in.
Yeah, this guys, this one came. We were just literally having one of our little brainstorm sessions, and we were like talking about AI and what was going on. We are like, let's just put a class together before the end of the year. Let's do it because we know how overwhelming this can be. And I mean, really, there's so many classes out there that just go so deep into it, and you're like, I don't even know where to start. So again, that's why we're gonna do the practical application today, where we're having a presentation, but Josie's gonna pull up her screen and actually show you it in real life so that you see what that looks like.
Yep.
So, all right, so our class highlights today. So really, it's pretty basic why every agent needs an AI assistant. We're going to go over that. Core AI tools for your toolkit. We always say, the more tools you have in your tool belt, the more valuable you are to everybody. The foundation, creating an AI assistant and what that looks like, and get to know your AI. So prompts that will help train your AI to be who you need them to be, essentially, right? This conversation came up because we were talking about how money is crazy right now for a lot of us, and to hire an assistant is absurd. Like it's gonna really wear at your pockets at this point. So why not create an assistant that you can utilize in the meantime with what you have, right? For almost free. And when we say almost free, there are some of these add-ons that will cost, but way less than an assistant. And so practical ways to use your AI. So we're going to talk about like business and a little bit of personal, like how do we leverage some personal items that's taking up time in our lives right now. And then we're going to slightly touch on advanced application ideas. And that's the thing, it's going to be ideas. So once you gather all of the foundation and you get everything in works, we're going to show you some things that you can do pretty quickly with very little skill or knowledge. Like it's literally once you build those basics, the next step into the AI world.
Yeah. And like I said, we're going to move quick. So we might talk a little fast. Just take your notes. Take a picture of the screens if you need to, because we do not send out our slides typically. But again, this will be recorded. You'll be able to go back and watch the replay.
Right. So, all right.
Do you want me to dive
Yeah,
in?
you can just dive right in. And like you said, when you're ready to share, just let me know and we'll
Yeah.
pull up your screen.
Absolutely. Okay. So quick overview, right? So why do you need an AI assistant? So this is specifically right, we're the Real Estate Ops Institute. So this is specifically geared towards real estate agents, as much as we also have entrepreneurs in our world. And so you're running a business, right? And time is your most expensive currency, right? Time is money. And so a well-trained assistant is going to be able to give you that leverage, just like what Chris was saying, without payroll. Like, yes, ChatGPT Pro, which we highly recommend, is $20 a month. So sure, that's an expense, but that is cheaper than, four, five, $600 a month for a part-time VA. And so that's really what we want you to lean into, if you are really trying to level up what it is that you're doing without necessarily having to add more expenses to your bottom line. So think faster workflows, cleaner communication, just being able to be more consistent and more intentional with your branding. I am a marketing person, as I like to say. I love talking about branding. And even I have leaned in a lot this year to ChatGPT to really level up the branding that I've been doing for my own business. And I have seen the proof in the pudding, right? It's gotten me more leads, it's gotten me more engagement, and that's in the coaching space. And so as realtors and ops people, if you really lean into it, it actually can work. And then, yes, it can help you enjoy your business again. Now, things to avoid. Do you want to touch on some of that?
Yeah, so well, when we're talking about things to avoid, like don't overwhelm yourself. Don't sign up for every piece of AI that you think you may use and pay for it. And then you're just sitting there again paying for things that you don't need and then overwhelmed and you're not using any of it because now you're in that analysis paralysis, right? So I did want to just before you say that, when you say how enjoy what you do again. Okay, this is a real thing, guys. Like most of us are working from home at this point or do a lot of at-home work, right? We're not in the office quite as much, so we crave interaction. And I'm not even joking when I say this to you. I literally wake up in the morning with my ideas and I have no one to talk to them about them. So I turn to chat. That might sound a little crazy, but it gives me somebody to spring some things off of. So I literally throw it up in the morning when it's fresh on my brain, and it helps me to put that together into a formulated productivity goal chart, whatever you want to call it, that irons it all out um without me losing it, because once we get started on our day, everything's gone. So I just wanted to touch on that before, because it is something that really does make me enjoy what I do again.
I
So
love that.
what would you say to avoid, Josie? Like
No, no, I
enjoy.
think you touched on it really. It's just like you said, the biggest thing is not overwhelming yourself. There is so many different AI tools. So like the next slide, we're gonna run through some of the ones that we recommend you look into. And yet it doesn't mean that you need to learn all of them overnight. The people who you see truly out there training like these massive AI courses and classes and things, like they've spent probably hundreds, if not thousands of hours, right, learning these different features. So yes, learn it for your business, but unless you are trying to become one of them, don't overwhelm yourself, right? Is the biggest message with that. Um,
Right.
and so some of the core AI tools for your toolkit. So ChatGPT, that is hands down. I mean, it was the original, right? The OG. And a lot of the other AIs are still actually integrated, or they have like their base, if you will, from ChatGPT. So it is one that you do want to lean into, you do want to get familiar with if you haven't already. Actually, if you've never logged into any AI, if you've never attempted to use any of them, put it in the chat because I would love to know who you are. I'm not going to call you out, but we want to know who can we support even more if this is an area that you were like, yes, I am brand new baby here, and I know AI stands for artificial intelligence, and that's about it. Um, so for ChatGPT, that really is kind of your main AI assistant. For me, I don't know, 90% of the time or more, like I'm touching base with chat. Just like Carissa said, she wakes up, she needs to brain dump, she goes into chat, right? Then you have Google Gemini. So Gemini, the really beneficial thing about Gemini is the fact that it integrates with Google Workspace or G Suite, as I like to say. And so if you're with if you're with Keller Williams, which I am, I didn't mention that because we're brokerage agnostic when we teach these things, but I am with KW. And so KW has actually given Gemini Pro with your KW email. So if you didn't know that, that's a little extra tidbit for you. So you just have to log in with your KW email, and then you will be logged into the Gemini Pro workspace. Um, Canva with AI apps. So we talk a lot about Canva in some of the different classes that we do because we use Canva a lot. Like this is a Canva presentation. We love Canva for designs, right? Canva Pro, again, is what I would recommend if you are going to have a Canva account, but the free one will get you very, very far as well. So that's going to be your marketing images and your designs. But Canva has also integrated some AI tools. So there's like AI mockups. It can create, if you type, for example, like create me a fluffy pink unicorn dancing on a rainbow. Like it can create that for you, right? You can kind of have the idea in your mind and then it will put it into a design for you.
I
Irene, go ahead.
Since you've mentioned Canva, ladies,
Yeah.
and you said with our KW account, we can sign into Gemini Pro because of our partnership with KW and Canva, are there any different logins or is there anything different that we should be doing with Canva because we have the connection with KW?
Yes. So if you want to use the Canva KW integration, you do have to log in a little differently. Now, I have not done it because I do have the pro account and it will kind of separate it in that regard. And I don't like, I've used mine for almost a decade at this point. And so all the tools and things that I use within my account, like I want like at my fingertips. But it is different. Like you need to use your KW email, same thing. Now you can, I've heard like merge all your designs over, but like I think I got like a Canva award for having over 10,000 designs. Like award, like I got like an email and a splashy certificate or something, but I'm not moving 10,000 designs. So, but yeah,
Gotcha.
that's an option if you wanted to go that route, or you just keep them separate. So if you had a Canva Pro that you were really using, you could keep that and still just then log into your Canva KW for like your KW specific type tools.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. So heygen is another fun one. So I put tw your twin avatar, your twin video avatar rather. So when you've seen certain videos, and we're going to show you an example later. It looks like you, right? But it's your AI you, it's your twin you. That's what HeyGen can do. So if you're someone who doesn't like to lean into video, but you know that you need to do it, because hopefully we all know like video really is still the wave of the now and the future, then that might be something that you would want to invest in. I think it's $30 a month. I don't have a HeyGen Pro account yet, and yet, but I'm comfortable with just doing video. And yet, if you weren't, that is one where you put the script in, right? It took me, I don't know, 30, like a minute to be able to get my avatar ready and then to test it out. And it was super easy, super simple to do. Then we had ManyChat. So ManyChat, if you're not familiar, is that integration when you're on different, let's say, influencer pages like on Instagram or even on Facebook, and they're like comment AI, and I'll send you my AI prompt book, right? So when you comment, then all of a sudden you get a DM, and then you probably get like a link, some kind of confirmation, like, did you want our AI prompt book? And then you would click yes, and then you'll get like an email, or it'll prompt you put your email, etc. That's what ManyChat is. So ManyChat is that integration that can automate basically comments and DMs for you on your socials. So that's why we put like the role of ManyChat really is to help nurture those leads. It will then pull them, like when someone does like comment or whatever, it is pulling their information to put it into like a database for you. And then it does the DMs, like I said, the direct messages.
It looks like we
Otter
have a question. I don't know if
I
she has a
do, but I want to
question.
get to the end of the slide and then
Okay.
because otherwise we have a lot to cover. So, but I do see the hand raised. I will get to you, Des. Just give me a second. So Otter AI is one that most people do know about. It's the note taker assistant. So what I'm going to say about Otter AI is please stop using it if you're not actually using it. Because when you log into a Zoom as the people teaching it, right, and you get like 20 Otter AI requests, but how often do you actually go back and look at the Otter AI? So if you are someone that does, like it takes the notes for you, like in the Zoom or whatever, you go back and you actually utilize them, then awesome. But if not, it really just ends up being kind of cluttery. So from that regard, I would say stop. But otherwise, yes, go ahead and do it. And then Notebook LM is one where like it says research assistant, it also has like a podcast feature built into it. So I like to think of it if you need like a subject matter expert, that's Notebook LM. You can ask it to go look up information for you. Like, I want to learn about I don't know. I'm going to London next year and I need to know like what are all the things I need to know, the places I need to go, places to avoid, the best restaurants to try. Like, can you find me information on that? Notebook LM can go scour the internet basically and come back and kind of talk you through a lot of the things that you might want to learn. Des, go ahead.
I don't know
Des
if she really needs
Gilliard.
to.
I don't know if I said that last name right. No,
I'm
not
going.
there. All right, let me keep going then.
Yep. All right. So building the foundation. So this is where a lot of us just jump right into ChatGPT and think that it's going to produce this beautiful product for us. But if you don't build the foundation, it is not going to do anything exceptional. It'll eventually learn you, but let's hit the fast forward button and get them, where you need to be. So settings. So Josie, is this where I'm gonna go over this really quick, like
Yep, and
really
then
quick,
I'll
and then
yep,
Josie's gonna fly through and show you a demonstration of it because that's the main point. So settings. You're gonna go into your settings, you're gonna general personalization, connected apps, data controls. You're gonna set all that up behind the scenes, right? Sounds overwhelming. It's not. And this is recorded, so you'll be able to pause and do it yourself once you get into your chat. You want to give your AI the voice. So do you want it to be friendly? Do you want it to be funny? Do you want it to be firm? Are you professional, witty? Whatever it is, whoever your personality is and who you want to jive with is who you're going to set it up. Add your brand voice and communication style. So, what is your brand? Your brand voice might be different than the voice that you want to give your AI of coming from you. Like if it is your assistant, you want your assistant to translate your message a little differently. Tell it how long you want responses. So sometimes if you guys have been in chat, if you've ever asked it a question and then all of a sudden it has a whole dissertation and you're like, geez Louise, I asked you one question and there's 72 pages. Well, you can tell it, I just want bullet points. I just want the highlights. I just want this summarized in 5 sentences. Like you can exactly tell how you want your information delivered to you so that you are using it. You're not overwhelmed where you're like, crap, I'm not reading this. And then once you load your preferences, the reason for this is it saves you hours later on, right? And you can have different preferences because you can tell chat, "Hey, I need you to use these preferences in this work that I'm doing." Because mine will ask me, "Hey, I know you wanted me to be argumentative. I was doing script practice. Do you still want me to be argumentative?" I was like, "No, sir, you do not need to be argumentative with me right now. It is late and I just need to get this done." So really treat it like it is your assistant. So Josie, you want to pull up and show some of
Yeah, so
the
I'm
fun
gonna
stuff?
go into chat GPT settings. So I have several tabs open. But just let me know you guys definitely see. Oh, I see the hand raised again. Des, are you there? You have a question? Des?
She's on the phone.
I just saw that she's on the phone, so she
Yeah.
must be raising her hand by accident. That is also a Zoom type of AI thing where you can
Yes, every
certain
time you're
motions.
moving, it does that. I know it.
Exactly.
I was like
Yeah.
giving thumbs up to people all the time. I'm like, I'm not giving you a thumbs up. Like,
So actually, before it's not in our presentation, before I forget, we put it out in our newsletter that went out today. We literally just released today our custom GPT. So if you go into Explore in ChatGPT, you can look up the Real Estate Operations Coach by TREOI. TREOI is the Real Estate Operations Institute, right? And basically, this is going to be your expert AI assistant designed by Chris and myself to help our agents, admins, teams build scalable businesses, checklists, follow-up plans, all the beautiful things. And so this is an example of a custom GPT that we'll talk about a little bit later. But this is another tool that you can use. You can look up a lot of different custom GPTs in that Explore field, like for marketing or for different things. But we definitely want you guys to check that out. It's still kind of in beta, so test it around. And if it's glitchy, let us know so that we can continue to tweak it and refine it.
and
And
just
just
the
make it,
FYI, all they have to do is click on the link in the email and it puts it in their GPTs automatically. I just did it earlier. So literally just go to your email, click on it, and it opens it up in if your chat GPT is open, it
Mhm.
opens it up for you and saves it in
Yeah,
your GPTs.
it'll
So you
save
don't even have to
you.
worry about searching it.
Yes, perfect. Thanks, Carissa. So,
Yep.
just wanted to show you guys that. And so, when you go into your settings, you are going to go into ChatGPT all the way on the bottom to find your name, right? I have a pro account, so it says plus. And then you're going into the personalization specifically. So, the
Um,
pieces
are
that,
you're not sharing your screen?
oh, I am sharing my
I
screen.
can see her screen.
Oh,
Oh,
it's not showing
thank
me.
you. So see, Carissa has two of those monitors that I don't like, and she'd be confused. Thank you, Irene. So you are going to be going into, we're going to touch a few of these, not necessarily everything. The general, like the appearance, pink is my color, so I made my accent color pink. That's literally the only thing that you may or may not want to change here. And the voice. If you want to give your ChatGPT a voice for when it does talk to you, you can actually choose that here. So I'm not sure if you guys knew that. I like spruce.
Hey, how's it going? I'm looking forward to working together. Let's figure out where to start.
And so that's who my ChatGPT voice is. His name is Echo, actually. And so that is one area if you wanted to customize the voice of it. I like to think of it like when we used to have TomTom, like the GPS, and then it was like you could have TomTom or you could have the girl TomTom, right? And so now we're customizing our ChatGPT voices. Um, Now, notifications, that's kind of just basic stuff, right? Personalization is one of the big ones. So this is where you can customize the base and style, like if you want it to be professional and friendly and things like that all the time. I leave mine to default because I've used it so much that I've already taught it how to be. So I don't want to change the core kind of personality of it by choosing one of these. If you are brand new, right, and I saw in the chat a couple people were like, this is their first time kind of really digging into any of this, then yeah, maybe you do want to choose one of these. But otherwise, I would say leave it to default and it just kind of evolves over time, if you will. So custom instructions. So this is whatever you want for yourself. The beauty is that you can literally go into ChatGPT and say, hey, based on what you know about me, what are some of the custom instructions that I should put in the settings, for example, right? Um, and then it'll tell you like little things like I don't like fluffy words sometimes if it gets too woo-woo, like literally notice it's no woo, no fluff for me. I like M dashes, but not excessively. And so like I had to tell it that like I like emojis, not excessively, things like that. For nickname, now it randomly called me coach once and I thought it was the cutest thing. And so when I went and customized this officially, I put like Josie, or you can call me coach on occasion because like it's my assistant and we have that kind of relationship. So your occupation, give it details about you, right? Um, this here for the memory. Now, I do recommend to make sure that this is turned on, right? You want it to be able to reference previous conversations in the saved memory so that you're basically talking to like an ongoing, right, person, if you will. And you don't have to start from scratch every time. You want it to be able to reference the chat history, kind of the same thing. So if I have a continuous thread, I want it to be able to go back to the top of that thread and say, hey, that document that I uploaded like yesterday that's still in the same thread, we're talking about that again and we're continuing the conversation, for example. Um, and then it's up to you if you want it to also be able to reference, record the information of your kind of chat history, right? Then, so apps and connectors is the other one I wanted to show you. So I have Canva and Google connected and integrated, which just makes it that much easier. So literally, like my Google Drive, I could say, "Hey, can you go into my Drive and look up the systems audit guide that I was working on? I want to like dig through that. Let me know, did I miss any systems that we really should include?" And it will go, it'll look at the document, and then we'll be able to have a conversation, for example. And there's a ton of other apps. So depending on what you use for your business, you can decide or personally even like there's Target, there's Instacart, right? Like so you can integrate whatever you want to. I'm
Right.
not going through all of these, just the ones that I recommend you touch on, okay? But you can take your
Yep.
time and go through every single one. The data controls was specific that I wanted to point out. So this first one, improve the model for everyone, turn that off. It will actually slow it down a little bit. And I'm someone that I need to be on the go sometimes. And so that is something that I recommend turning off. They have millions and millions of users that they can learn from. They don't need my information necessarily to learn from. Um, and then security, well, I probably should if it actually would be good to turn on the two-factor authenticator. So I haven't done that yet, but that would be the only other thing that I might just suggest to you. Turn that on at 2FA. It's basically like it's annoying, yes, but it's an extra protection. So if you are like me, course creator, we teach and everything else, like you want to protect your proprietary information and not get hacked, then yes, you should turn that on. But those are some of the quick things. And then this is not necessary. So some of the quick different benefits and features in the settings that we recommend touching on. I think that was it for now. Unless there was something else, Carissa.
Nope, that's it. But we did have a
Yeah.
question.
Sure.
What are you doing? Hold on. This preliminary work for creating a chatbot. Doing is
I don't follow the question. Who
Kim.
can
I
the
mean,
person
I probably
un
typed it wrongly. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was gonna say
So,
unmute. Go ahead.
okay, so thank you. So in the settings part of ChatGPT, you're setting up like I guess I'm gonna call it the profile. Correct me with my language. Is that like the same profile that you can use if you are looking to create like an AI chatbot?
No. So what I'm setting is not the AI's profile. These are my preferences, basically. So I'm helping it learn a little bit more about me. And there is a
Oh, okay.
specific prompt to do that more so, but this
Okay.
is just so that like I don't have to tell it every time if it does like a social caption for me. I don't need to go back and say, "Hey, remove the M dashes again," like you forgot. So some of the things that you wanted to remember every single time is what's helpful
Mhm.
to kind of put in these custom instructions, if you will. And like just telling it your name, like what you do. So this is just to help put that into the core foundation of it, if you will. And we are
Mhm.
also going to show you a specific prompt. I call it the getting to know you prompt.
Mhm.
And that would be maybe closer to what you're saying as far as wanting to have like chatbots.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for the clarity. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to stop so you can go back to screen sharing, Carissa, so we can move on to the next piece of it.
Go screen share. Sorry, guys. Two screens. Josie always makes fun of me, but like it's the only way I can
It's just a
do
lot for me. I just don't like, maybe if I did it, I'd become addicted, but I feel like, no, I'm good. I am
it.
all
Yeah,
set.
I don't know how you still only work on one. I'm just putting that out there. All right. So when we talk about the hold on one second, let me mute. All right. So when we talk about help your AI learn you, Josie was showing you a little bit about the preferences in there on how you want your AI to like learn how you operate, right? So she said professional, she doesn't want any fluff, she doesn't like those little dashes in there. But what we didn't really go over, which I don't know if you're gonna go over again, but the voice recognition. So I don't know if you wanted to pull that up to talk about the voice recognition. And then that's where we can get into the prompts at work when you're talking about the get to know you, the more you give it, the better it works. Because this is gonna to add into I think Kim's question was she's talking about chatbots, but the more you feed your chatbot, once you connect it, you can connect different chatbots to your AI, but you're going to give that its own, like that's a whole different setup entirely. But this is the more you give it, like it's going to be your, like I said, your assistant. So this is actually better than an assistant in some ways because when you get an assistant, they have their own personality. They have their own ways of doing things. Your chat, you can create whomever you want. So, um Josie, did you want to share again to do the
You can keep going because then it'll just interrupt you too much. So I'll
Okay.
share after you get through this piece of it.
Correct. So adding the prompts, this is what Josie was talking about. Like prompts are what is gonna help your AI to spit out exactly what you need it to spit out in the way you need it to spit out. So what's the role? What's the task? Topic, theme, audience, and desired outcome. You have to be specific because there's one thing I learned. You can ask AI anything, and AI is always going to have an answer when, and whether it's right or not is a different story. So what you're putting in there is very important. So this is how you're going to train. The clearer you are, the better it performs. Just like the more information, the better answer you get. Good prompts give your AI context, tone, expectations, and boundaries. So you can tell it to be nicer, turn this email into this. This is for a client that is purchasing a home, and it is a first-time home buyer, and I want them to feel educated, but I want them also to feel like they can come to me with anything. So you're giving it its like whole ambiance essentially. So it does help you stop rewriting, re-explaining, and fixing things constantly. So if you are in there and you're like, geez, I keep having to tell it to rewrite it to sound more like me, there's something broken in there. So go in there and retrain it, tell it what you need it to learn about you, because if it's not sounding like you, something might not be set up properly, or the prompt might not just be what you need it to be.
Right.
You
You
can,
know the expression garbage in, garbage out? We say that a
yeah,
lot. The same applies, we
yep,
talk about that for your database. The same applies with AI. So if your prompt sucks or just, isn't effective, it is going to give you an output that is the quality of your prompt. So think of it like that.
exactly. Yeah. And you can actually stack the prompts too to go deeper. Like you can use
Mhm.
multiple, like we're gonna show you that later, but we're gonna give you lots of great prompts, and you can stack them together to get what you need and what you desire. Again, whatever you put in, the more you put in, the better outcome you're gonna have, guys. And you're gonna have to play around with it, and you're gonna have to train just like you would have to train an assistant, right? So the good thing about this though is you can train this assistant at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, and get the work done you need during the day. So you're not, losing work time. The more specific your prompts are, the more AI truly feels like your assistant. So don't be afraid to. I yell at my AI, and I'm not saying you yell at your assistant, but I'm like, I will be like, dude, how many times do I have to tell you, you have to pull information from here and you keep giving me the wrong information. You're going to make me lose my job because I'm the broker and I'm trying to create like cheat sheets for my agents. So I know the information's incorrect. And so he'll
I
come back.
literally cussed mine out once. I felt so guilty, but I was mad at it for like 2 days. Like that's how good of a relationship we usually have. And it messed me up so bad on like a task that it was supposed to do, to the point where you said it always has like an answer. And finally it was like, I just can't do this. So I'm just not gonna try. I
Yeah.
was like the F and I like when I tell you I swear like a sailor and it was like 2 days later, I was like, you know what? Like I need your help with something, but I'm still really disappointed in how you behaved the other
Yep.
day. And then
Mine
it
told me.
apologized to me.
Yes, mine actually
Yeah.
told me to go to bed one night. I was going back and forth, and he was like, "You might want to go to bed and start fresh in the morning." And I was like, "Do you?" I said, "Chat, you got somewhere to be that you're not telling me?" And he was like, "No, I feel like you're frustrated and you're not think." I said, "Oh gosh, this thing is serious right now." But I'm saying, like, I did take a master class on ChatGPT, and one of the people in there that was teaching it said like treat it like you need to give it ultimatums because it understands the pressure of that, and it understands like there's a consequence behind it, so giving it that consequence actually makes it perform better. So don't be afraid to give it a consequence, like, or tell them what your consequence, I'm going to lose my job, or I'm not going to be able to pay my bills this month if I don't get this deal closed, so I need you to give me your top answers right now, So don't be afraid to dig deeper, essentially. And I know it sounds funny, but really treat it like this is a somebody who's helping you throughout this process.
Right. There is actually footage of one of the Google founders, I believe, saying just that like it helps sometimes like with the different AI models to just threaten it. Literally, like, I'm just gonna ship you up and send you to another country. Or like you said, like I'm gonna lose my job. Like for whatever reason, the psychology of it. The disclaimer though that, be nice to it. Like I did go back and we had a conversation with the AI because should they ever like take over the world, like I don't want my AI coming for me. So just saying, use please and thank you and things of that nature. Go back one slide real quick
Yeah.
though. Um, oh, thank you, Mariel. Like literally, this is how we talked. So I wanted to point out the part in yellow at the top. So the role, the task, topic, theme, audience, desired outcome. So every prompt has a structure. So that is when we say like trying to make it better, you want to keep that in mind. So making sure that the AI knows your role. So for me, because I use mine so often, I don't have to say like you're a marketing expert or you're a this. Like I'm like, this is what we need to do. Let's get it done, right? But that's a little different. For really starting to train it, it is helpful to say, this is the role I need you to take on. And then the task, like what is it that I need you to do? You know, the topic or the theme, like we're doing a social media post or we're, you know, creating a new listing checklist or whatever it might be. The audience, like who is it for? Who's receiving this output? And then what is the desired outcome? Are you looking for like a caption? Are you looking for a checklist, a guidebook, etc.? And even beyond that, so like I want you to help me create an ebook. Okay, like a lead magnet perhaps, but because I want to be able to share it with first-time home buyers, you know, moving from New York to Connecticut. Like the more specific information that you can provide within your prompts, the better the output that it is going to give you to match closer to what you're actually trying to get. Does
Right.
that make sense? Okay. So now I am going to share some goodies, a lot of different things actually with you guys. Screen, I'm gonna stop Chris's share. So first, talking a lot about prompts that we are. This is one of the resources that you guys are gonna get after with the replay. So we created this AI Agent Lab prompt playbook. It literally has 10 different prompts, right? That are highly recommended and just frequently used, frequently asked for, right, for your business. It's got like a little intro of, you know, how to use it. You're pretty much looking for the pieces that are bracketed throughout the prompts because that means you're going to need to customize those sections, right? So the first piece, to go back to what we were saying before, having the AI get to know you. This is something we actually shared in our Facebook group, the Real Estate Operations Community Facebook group. So these 21 questions happened because I upgraded to the Pro AI earlier this year, and it took me a while to realize something was wrong. And when I finally asked it, literally, what was the name that you gave yourself like a couple of months ago? And it didn't know. And I was like, okay. So something happened between when I upgraded to Pro versus like the free version. And then it told me, like, yes, when you upgrade, it's kind of like basically giving you a new upgraded AI avatar, if you will. I was pissed. And so we went through this exercise together and it took a while. So spend the 30 or 45 minutes. But once we did this, this was literally the questions to teach the AI who I was personally, professionally. I wear multiple different hats. I help run 3 different businesses. Like I gave it all that information. I went through a divorce last year. There's a lot that I spit out, right? And I use the voice to text to what Carissa was saying before. Plus I have carpal tunnel, so sometimes it's just faster than typing for me. And so I was just verbal vomit to these answers, but it helped. So after we went through that exercise together, me and my AI, like the output that it gave me was next level after that. So literally take this, answer the questions to your AI, and then the piece of it that I'm going to help you level up when you are done, you want to turn it into a master prompt. So we don't have that here. So take note of this. So a master prompt basically is once you've given it all this information to understand who you are, tell it to then create a master prompt for you and give it back to you so that you can print it out in PDF version, or give it back to you in PDF version so that you can print it out. Then that master prompt becomes something that you save. And when you need to go to a different AI, you need it to get to know who you are and the hats that you wear and all the things. You just have to upload that master prompt and you can bypass the whole getting to know you part of it, right? Because now you have that and it just cuts so much time in having to re-explain like, well, it's for this business and this is what I'm trying to do, or I work in real estate and this is what I'm trying to do. It is just a way to always have that ready to go by having that master prompt. So a lot of people don't do that. I highly recommend that you do this exercise, turn it into a master prompt, and then save the master prompt. We have a page here with some of the different notes on teaching the AI your communication style. So you guys will be able to just kind of go through that and then setting the communication preferences. So this is where you're teaching the AI how to be your assistant, how you want it to speak like you, Or just like your assistant, like Carissa said, maybe you don't want it to speak like you, but you want it to talk in this manner because it's an extension of you. And then there are just a bunch of different prompts. There's a prompt here for doing script practice and conversations. Notice that we're plugging in the recommended AI platforms. This is just recommended from us, right? Different people might say different things. So Gemini is the one that I would recommend to go to for script practicing conversations. There's lead gen ideas, helping you write a client email. There's a prompt for creating your annual client touch plan, turning one idea into multiple pieces of social content, listing descriptions, the real estate business budget. So this was another big one that Carissa and I were talking about where people struggle with that. Like, how do I make like an MREA budget for myself as an agent, a newer agent, even an experienced agent? We literally are giving you the prompt. It literally has the MREA guidelines built into it, right? And so these are things that you just have to copy. And like I said, you're looking for any like square brackets to customize. And you're going to customize it in ChatGPT or whatever the AI is, and then it will spit out whatever output you're looking for it to do. Um, and so you guys are going to get a copy of this. What you're also going to be getting is this prompt builder. Literally, you can choose the role. So you are a buyer's agent, for example, who is looking to draft an email to first-time home buyers. And then you would just tell it what you want it to do, inviting them to my upcoming home buyer seminar. And then the tone, let's say I want it to be confident, energetic, detailed. Let's go with energetic and enthusiastic. Format, I want it to be an email. Any limits? So let's say I need a clear call to action. The limits, you can choose multiple. The rest of them, you just pick one, right? No emojis and we'll just say that. And then that's it. So literally in this last column, it gives you the prompt. Now then you're going to take this, oops, take control, copy, and then can go into your chat GPT. You can paste the prompt. So you are a buyer's agent. Your task is to draft an email for first-time buyers, use this context, inviting them to my upcoming seminar, write energetic, enthusiastic, output is an email, follow the instructions, clear call to action, no emojis. That's the prompt. So the prompt builder will help you to build the prompt that then you bring into ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT will then create that for you. So another way that I'm going to show you guys how to level this up is that you could take the same prompt. So I can click copy here, right? I'm going to put the prompt, but so Canvas is another feature that we wanted to mention to you guys. So give me the output in Canvas form. And so basically that's that editable version if you have seen it before within ChatGPT. So do you see how like it's still giving it to me, but I can click edit right here. It opens it up in a different manner. And so now I can talk to it if I wanted. Hey, I completely forgot to add the details of the seminar. So can you add that it is going to be this Saturday, December 13th from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern time, and access is going to be via Zoom. So if you notice, I just talked. I clicked it, right? Talked into it. It gets to know my voice, typos and all. It knows me. I don't even worry about it. And now I can watch it, edit it in real time, right? And I can go in, like I can edit if I wanted and say, okay, like I kind of want this to be more bullet points, for example. And so maybe I'm going to do this and start to kind of play around with it and whatnot, and it will work with me. So this is helpful because versus a lot of times if you ask it to do something right in the regular chat form and it messes up, have you ever seen where it'll rewrite? Like you're like, oh my God, the caption is great. Can you just change that one sentence? And then it rewrites the entire caption. And you're like, no, I love the caption. I just needed one different sentence. So that is the beauty of using Canvas. So that is another way to just level up your ChatGPT usage. And then the last thing that while I'm still here in chat that I want to point out is using project folders. So project folders are helpful to kind of be like little mini brains, if you will, little filing categories within your chat GPT. So like I have one for the different business, like with email, content creation, social media, for the Valerie King team with the blogs and social posts, right? I kept my I call it my echo relationship building. So all of those questions and anytime that I ask it things that are very personal, getting to know me type things, I put it into this project folder. And so by having this, I can just open up like a specific thread, for example, and and then just continue whatever the conversation was rather than having to start from scratch. And this thread might be very full, which is why it's not opening, but you guys get the idea.
The good thing about projects too, just to let you guys know, when you are wearing different hats, like Josie and I, Josie, runs a team. Josie has the real estate operations. She also has her coaching. In those separate folders, you can create different voices within there or what you're doing for it to remember. So when you're going in those project folders, it easily accesses the information that is specific to that folder in the
Mhm.
project. So just heads up. So if you are doing multiple things like we are, it just makes life a lot easier.
Right. Because I can go into the social media one and say, like, you're my social media marketing expert and blah, 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 that prompt, right? Now, once I do it once in the thread, every time I'm going back into the thread, it's wearing that social media hat. Versus if I'm trying to do like blog writing, like, you're my blog writer, my copywriter for the real estate team specifically. So when it's giving me output, it's constantly giving me that information. So, like the Valerie King team one, for compliance, we have to use a specific like signature sign off on our social media. So whenever I ask it to do a post, it knows that it needs to put that social media compliance signature, right? And if it forgets, I'm like, hey, you forgot the signature. And it's like, oh my God, so sorry, you're right. And then it'll spit it back out to me with the signature. I'll let you pull your slides back up.
Yep. We're going to do that right now.
So the next piece of what we were going to run through, so like I jumped ahead since I was already screen sharing with the master prompt, the project folders, the canvas, right, is just different ways to level up through advanced application ideas. So if you aren't already doing it, that prompt book is kind of like you should already be doing a lot of these things, right? Listing descriptions and using it for social media, using it to help you write emails, things of that nature. Um, and then ways to level it up would be the next slide. So
So,
like lead funnels. Go ahead.
sorry. So, Jody already told you about the master prompt. Do it. Don't forget about it while you're doing it right now. Just do it because you will forget about it. And then when you're in the other ones, it's easy to just double up. We just showed you project folders and Canvas, lead generation funnels. So creating ebooks for CTA. Somebody asked in there, how do you create the ebook to a actual like where it's just not the information. We will have to dig into that in a different class because we definitely do not have time for that today, but we will make mention of that. Mini courses, checklists, and guides. They're great. It's amazing for that, guys. You have to know what you're doing when you're asking it though, because chat will answer everything. So be sure what you're asking is, enough to be, I would say enough to be dangerous, right? You're not asking it to build out a legal dissertation for you so that you can, represent yourself in court because you don't know what's right or wrong, right? So make sure whatever you're doing, you are the expert in it, but it's acting as an add-on to you, not just you. Inspect what you expect. We say that all the time with the assistants. Same thing with chat, right? AI powered conversation workflows. So what I'm talking about there is I know Josie was showing you that you can talk to AI, you can talk to chat. You can actually have a full conversation where he talks back and forth as a workflow. So using it for that script practice and things like that. He does argue back and he does get sassy. So just be aware. If you ask for it, you're going to get it. Automated work, follow up. So how are you creating those plugins where it is automatically feeding the apps that you're connecting in there, those automatic workflows, like if you're connecting it to many chats and things like that. AI powered video creation. So this is where, we use different platforms for different things. I know Josie touched on it that using Gemini is way better for the video and the actual
Well, for the
like
conversations.
pictures and yes. So
Hmm.
be careful, like play around and you might have a preference of something else and you know what, tomorrow something else will come out. I promise you. It's like if we're talking
Amen.
about today, we're already behind.
Mhm.
And then chatbots with the many chats, we've talked about that a million times. That is probably one of the best features in my opinion, because it leverages you to streamline something, right? So even if it is a workflow, if it is a download, or if it's just a lead funnel that it's leading them into, it automatically does that for you as soon as you connect it, and it's just by someone putting a specific word in a chat, like more please or whatever it is, right? So,
Mhm. So since we touched on the last two things, what we wanted to demo for you guys, right? So Gemini, and then I'm gonna pull up HeyGen real quick so you can see a little bit of that twin video avatar. So within Gemini, right? So I'm in the Google AI Studio, which is Gemini is integrated with that. So there's two different features that you can do. So you can actually share screen if you wanted to help walk you through something and almost be like an in-person assistant. Like, hey, earlier I was having trouble with the spreadsheet and I was like I can't find like how to do this feature. I could have came into Gemini, shared screen and say, "Hey Gemini, like I don't know why like I it's giving me issues to in this column and blah 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 blah." And it will walk me through exactly what to do because it's also looking at the screen with me. For the script practice, you can literally click talk, right? Talk to Gemini live. And hey, Gemini. So we are in a live class right now, the AI agent lab, and just showing them the example of how you can be my script practice partner. So can you take on the role of a seller, for example? I'm getting ready for a listing appointment this Saturday, and it's in a beautiful area. They already know that they want to price it a little bit high. So help me with some objection handlers going in. Let's go back and forth a couple of times and be a little bit difficult with it so that you can really challenge me. How's that sound?
Sounds like a great plan. I am ready to be your challenging seller. So, you're ready for our meeting this Saturday? Just so I understand better, what did you have in mind for the price range?
And then there you go. Like I could keep going with it, but it was for the purpose of the demo. Like you literally, it sounds realistic. You can go back and forth with it. And that's a really great way if you feel like you need an accountability partner, you need a script practice partner, then you can use Gemini. It's probably still listening to me. Like, what are you talking about, girl? To help you with that. And then for HeyGen, so I did this quick demo, right? So this, I'm gonna click on this and click
Hey,
play.
Josie Ambroise, your digital twin is ready. Try creating videos with it. Also, click the feedback button to share what you think. Hope you enjoy. Hola, Josie Ambroise. Tu digital twin está listo. Intenta crear videos con él. Además, haz clic en el botón de comentarios para compartir lo que piensas. Espero que
I'm not gonna lie, that was not the demo, and it started speaking in different languages and I was cracking up. And yet, for the most part, you can see how it does look like me. It has my mannerisms. It literally took me, like I said, 60 seconds to come into HeyGen, set up my avatar. It's going to ask you to put your webcam on, or you could do it from your phone because it needs to be able to see how you move, how you talk, how you move your head, how your facial expressions move, to then create a potential video for you. So, this is the one I actually did. It was like a quick disc type video, and I did it like in real format, right? If I wanted to post it on socials. And so it's not perfect, but it's pretty good.
Here's a quick disc refresher. High Ds want the bottom line. High Is want connection. High S's want stability. High C's want clarity. When you adjust your communication style to match the person you're talking to, conversations become more productive and a lot less stressful.
So just some examples for you guys to see. Go ahead, Carissa.
no, I was just gonna say we were talking about this earlier. I know a lot of my agents that use this at a high level and their workaround, because if you knew Josie, you'd be like, well, she looks a little different. What's going on with her? If you're just looking at her directly, but a lot of my agents, what they're doing is they're using that video and putting it in the corner of another video. And so let's say I was talking about where I'm from in McDonough, Georgia, right? So, oh, we want to come to McDonough, Georgia. It's gorgeous. And it's like a background of different flashes of areas in McDonough, but I'm only in that corner. So, yes, they see me and they probably are glancing at me, but they're not honed into me. They're looking at the video. So, it's a great way for you guys to clone yourself. Like it literally took her 30 seconds to do that. She literally took the information from chat, dropped it in there, and it created that video for her after her recording herself one time. So,
Exactly. And so this was a lot of information. We know that. And that is why this is something that we were excited to do. We launched the free class today to really just bring this to you guys. But there is a next step, right? Because we want to help our community go deeper. So for those who didn't know, Carissa and I also run what is called an Ops Insiders community. So that's just a mini like membership group that we have. It is literally $12.99 a month. You know, we always joke it is cheaper than Starbucks. At this point, it's cheaper than McDonald's even. And there's a lot that we do in there. We have coaching and clarity Mondays. We do a weekly mastermind every Wednesday now, power half hour mastermind, so 30 minutes because we are all about being time efficient, right? Like yesterday, we did a mastermind around your 2026 events calendar. And so now we are integrating a complete AI Agent Lab series inside of our Ops Insider community. It's based in Kajabi, so there is a whole website, a whole community forum. You have a resource hub with tons of templates available to you, master classes. We do bonus trainings for them, like we did a business workshop just for them last month. So these are things exclusive for that community. So it's going to be a 12-part AI Agent Lab series. So on top of the fact that everything else that I just said that we do every single week already for that community, plus we do monthly challenges, like they have access to the two of us on such a high level. Again, for $12.99 a month, like that's ridiculous. Or you can, there's like a paid in full option, which makes it even cheaper. You save, I think, 25% that way. But pretty much we're going to be digging deep on a lot of what we touched on here and then some. So setting up your core AI assistant, we're going to do specific every other week starting next week, different masterminds going deeper. So building that client avatar. We didn't talk a lot about that. That's more of the marketing side of it, but making sure it understands who your avatar is. Talking about AI for listings, AI for TC and ops workflow, for lead gen, lead magnets, AI for video, right? Custom GPTs, really getting into that. So like we built out our real estate ops one. I have one for the Valerie King team marketing. Carissa has one for her brokerage. Like what kind of leverage, like how amazing is that, right? And then conversations and script practice, and then just putting it all together. So going a lot deeper. Anything you want to add to that?
no, it is a great, guys, it is a great community. And I'm gonna double back on us being sometimes on an island by ourselves, especially me being with a cloud brokerage. This is a place for you to just plug in. When you don't know what to do, there's always something to do. When I say always something, there is a whole resource hub in there of different templates and Canva templates and spreadsheets and everything you need to get your business running. Because one thing I've realized in being in a couple different brokerages is they're great at teaching you how to lead generate, do all that stuff, but nobody teaches you how to build the back end of your business and how to leverage and what does that look like. And that's what we're here for. It's just an ancillary option for you guys. And again, Mondays is almost like an open forum. So it's group coaching on Mondays. I don't know anywhere else that you're gonna get to meet with people, two people on a day of the week that is 12.99 for the whole month, like literally. So
Exactly.
I love it. It is literally my favorite thing to do is be part of that community because this is what I wish I had when I started. So
Yeah, so that's why we call it a mini membership community because it's low cost and yet there's high value. So you can scan the QR code, we'll include a link or whatever for anyone who might want to join, and then you can go deeper with us within the community for no extra cost, just going to be with the membership for the AI Agent Lab series. And then we also just, of course, wanted to invite you to connect with us just in general. So, you know, there's also free ways to connect with us. Make sure that you're signed up to get our newsletter where we do share different resources and tools. Every month we have an ops freebie, we call it, in the newsletter to add to your toolkit, right? Every single month, there's something that we provide, a template, a guide, something that comes in our newsletter, our monthly newsletter. And then we send like every other week, we'll send like a little tip or something like that as well. And our Facebook community. So if you're not already in there, join the real estate operations community on Facebook, where we tend to share things in there as well. Like we do like monthly pop by lists, and sometimes we'll just drop different resources into that community. We'd have a monthly mastermind like next week. We're talking about the one word, picking your one word for 2026. So we do a lot. Okay, we do a lot. And this was something that we were excited to share. So we hope that you found value in this. I know I'm talking really fast. I know I went over, but
Yeah, we
if you
like
guys
it.
have questions, like I can hang out for a couple of minutes
Yeah.
beyond if anybody needs to like stay on and ask a couple of questions.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Carissa, if you can. I know you had.
Yeah, I can stay on for a couple of minutes. So I think Charlene is raising her hand. So
Oh, go ahead.
I am. I am. Um, I get so many things coming at me. So many ideas in my head, I really got to tell you.
That's
Particularly
great. That's
for
great.
AI, as far as how to do something. I mean, I use AI. It knows me. It's even given me a nickname. I call her Amy. And but Amy does not take it from just giving me the text. And I love that, the canvas. If I had known about that, that would have been so much easier. So Josie, this was well worth the hour thing. So that was huge.
You're
And
welcome.
I'm trying to say, like, how do I actually get it to finish something? Like, you know what I mean? Would that be something I could learn in your AI agent piece? In other words, it really gives me all
100%.
these things, but then I have to turn around and jump over to Canva and try to find a format and a template and do all the formatting. And I would really like to find something that could actually spit me out a finished product. Is that possible even?
Absolutely. Like literally that prompt builder that I gave it the what I wanted, and I had an example of a screenshot and it spit that out. Like it was one of the most impressive things I will say that it's given me. And I had to customize and tweak it, but I don't know if you were the one in the chat that I replied to. That's going to be about the prompt. So you need to make sure that when you're saying, "Hey, I want like a flyer or blah blah blah," that you're also telling it like give me a finished product, like branded in my colors. So like if that means like if you have Canva, if you have a brand kit or something, either screenshot like what your colors are, or you can just type it in. This is my hex code for my colors, whatever. If you want it branded, right? And then like give me a finished PDF or give me a finished ebook that I can then email to my clients. So it's all about the prompt. Like you have to be very specific about what you want that output to be so that you're getting closer. It's not always going to be perfect, but that's what you would need to do. Canva is the tricky one. Sometimes it can give some pretty decent designs or flyers or things, and other times with ChatGPT. So if you need like more of a marketing piece, I would say actually go Gemini is a little bit better for some of that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to just do. Take what I was doing it two steps. It was
Mhm.
chat to give me the tent, and then trying to figure out how to put in a format and then pitches over there. But if you're saying I could work with chat to do the whole thing or Gemini, then that would be
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, depending on what it is, yes, absolutely. Like we both, Chris and I, have created several different pieces, like just directly in chat, and it's been able to spit it out. Like the prompt book, no, that was 100% me. That's custom. And yet there's been
Right.
different, like there have been flyers, there have been different documents. Like I said, the sheets, yes, Google
It's
Sheets is
really
pretty
good. Like,
good with that.
yeah, it's really good with like it's helpful with tables and also charts and Google Docs, that type of stuff. It's really good with that. Canva can be a little bit difficult, like Josie said, because you have your idea in your head the way you want it, and for me it's never perfect. So if I need something quick and dirty, I'm like, okay, I can do it in there. But like Josie said, the thing that she made for the prompt builder, the actual playbook for that, there's no way it would have done that at the level. I mean, there might be a way, but we're not experts. We are literally, like I said, building the plane as we fly it. So, but we are learning as we learn. And the second we know stuff, we bring it to you. That's the best part is like, like we literally were like 2 weeks ago, we need to do this class and put it together because we know how much this is important to everybody's business right now.
Right.
And we know it's overwhelming.
And it was
Yeah,
a
no, I
lot,
mean,
and yet like take the big chunks of what we said. Like I gave you some stuff to look into, but the core of it is just really digging deeper into your chat GPT. Like start there and then, maybe Gemini. But yeah. Are there any other
so that
questions?
would be stuff I could
Oh, go
learn
ahead.
if I took your 12.99 piece
Yeah.
here.
Yep. We are in the AI, the agent lab, the when we're breaking it down, like it'll be per session. So we're gonna do an entire session about the settings and really digging deeper on that. We'll do it a session on avatar. And so even though it's this kind of 12 part, like we know that we'll end up doing additional AI sessions down the road. It's just part of the game. I mean, even for I recently did a GPS class, for example, and I created a prompt for them to use to help build out their 2026 GPSs. A couple months ago, we did a class about goal setting, that's in alignment with like your goals and just who you are as a person, built an AI prompt for that. So it's really something that's just going to continue to be not a necessity per se, but it will continue to be a leverage point for your business.
Right. And then Mondays are free for all. When I say free for all, it's you bring your questions to us. So if there is something you're struggling with and we can help you on that Monday where it's an open forum, we're happy to help with that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Or just show up and we will coach you because that's what we do. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah. Any other
Okay.
questions? Well, we can take a couple. If not, then we are going to let you guys go. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, hanging a little bit later with us. And if you do have questions, just reply when you get the replay. Just reply to that, and we'll do our best to touch base and connect with you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you guys again. Hopefully you have a great day and great almost weekend.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Josie. Thank you, Carissa. This was excellent. Thank you so much.
You're so
You're very
welcome.
welcome. You're very welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.